Hi everyone, I'm Lara and welcome to the College Office. As you get ready to head out on your first college visits, I wanted to talk about some of the things that you should be looking for when you get to the schools. It can be really overwhelming, so I want to make sure that you know what to focus on. The first thing you want to notice is the facilities, meaning the buildings, the resources, and everything that the school physically has to offer. Are the buildings old and in need of repair, or is everything new and state-of-the-art? As you walk through the class buildings, peek into some of the classrooms. Try not to be shocked by the fact that they look very similar to high school classrooms, except with less stuff on the walls, but beyond that, are they clean? Are they technologically equipped? The tour guides are going to show you the perfect examples of what the school has to offer, but it's also important for you to notice what the tour guides aren't showing you. But speaking of tour guides, I love them. Tour guides are the perfect example of the kind of student that you're going to encounter at the school. Of course, they'll answer your questions and tell you what life is really like on campus, but you can also learn a lot just by watching them. How do they interact with the campus? Do other students know them? Do they stop and say hi? You can learn so much just by watching the students to learn how inclusive and friendly the school is. For me, the best tours are the ones where a tour guide's friend will come over just to give him or her a high five and tell our group how great they think the school is. So, as you are looking around at these students, there's one thing that I really want you to notice: diversity. I cannot overemphasize the importance of a diverse campus. Diversity breeds new ideas and the exchanges of information. So if you're from a super homogenous place, you will learn so much more at college by going to school with people who are different than you. And another thing that diversity on campus tells me is that the school also values different voices and backgrounds. And that tells me that the school is progressive and inclusive and, frankly, the kind of place that I'd like to spend more time. You should be in a school where everybody has value, regardless of gender, religion, race, or any other unique trait. So on the tour, you're probably also going to attend an info session. If you haven't scheduled your visits yet and you're not sure about the info session, go to the info session. They're going to throw a lot of great information at you about how awesome the school is and how much it has to offer. So before you go, think of some questions that you want to ask. Here are some things you can think about. You want to ask about the core curriculum. So some schools have certain classes that everybody has to take, called the core curriculum. At some places, it's just categories of classes, like everybody has to take 1 math and 4 humanities or something like that. But at other places, Columbia being the perfect example, everybody takes the same core classes. So if you're the kind of student who never wants to see the inside of a science lab after you graduate from high school, you're going to want a school with a not so restrictive core curriculum. Along those same lines, you'll want to ask about opportunities to take classes outside of your major. So if you're a biology major, could you take a choir class? If you're an economics major, could you take photography? College is about exploring your interests, so you want to be at a school that allows you to push outside of your comfort zone. Some other things to think about are how many students live in the dorms versus commute to campus, because that'll tell you whether or not the school empties out on the weekend. What's the student to faculty ratio? So you're looking for small numbers, 1 to 8, 1 to 10, 1 to 15. That means that for every 1 faculty member, there are 8, 10, or 15 students. The smaller the number, the more accessible the faculty is likely to be. You want to know what life in the dorms is like, especially for freshmen, because you want a school that builds community among the freshmen with fun outings and activities, because that will ultimately combat the inevitable loneliness and homesickness that everybody feels at the beginning of college. Some of my best friends are still the people that I met on my hall freshman year at NYU. So another way to get your questions answered is to actually meet with an admissions officer. You can call the admissions office in advance and find out if there's someone who can talk to you. A note on phone calls. I know you don't want to make them, but I'm going to let you in on 2 secrets. First, nobody wants to make phone calls. Everybody would be just as happy as you are to exclusively text and never make another phone call again. But second, the admissions office knows that you're nervous about this call. They're there to help you and be friendly. If you do meet an admissions officer, no matter how nervous you are, hold your head high, shake their hand, look them in the eye. Tell them specific things that you liked about the school. Think of at least 2 questions that you want to ask them. At the end of the meeting, thank them, shake their hand again. When you get home, and I cannot emphasize this enough, when you get home, Send them a thank you email. This way, when it comes time to apply, you have a really great shot at being remembered. So the last thing I want you to think about, and this is going to sound maybe a little new agey and weird, is what kind of vibe do you get from the school? So here's the best way that I can describe it. When I visited NYU, the tour took us straight through Washington Square Park. In the middle of the park, there's this big fountain where everybody sits on the edge, reading, writing, listening to music. And I remember watching them and feeling like they were so relaxed and comfortable in their own skin. And I felt like that was the kind of place that I wanted to be. And so that's what you're really looking for, that aspirational pull that the school is going to take you in and make you the person that you should be. By the spring of freshman year, I was sitting in that fountain studying for finals and trying not to get a sunburn. So that's it on what you should be looking for when you visit colleges. If I didn't answer your question, please send me an email at laurainthecollegeoffice@gmail.com. And in the next video, I'm going to be talking about what colleges are looking for from you instead of what you're looking for from colleges. So if you have questions about that, send them along as well. And this month's letter of recommendation goes to a cast album that I cannot stop listening to, Dear Evan Hansen. So Dear Evan Hansen is kind of the big show on Broadway this season for very good reason. I don't want to tell you too much about it, but I will tell you it's about kids who feel like they don't belong, like they're not really seen. It's heartbreaking and uplifting, and honestly, just listen to it for yourself. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at College Office Law, and like me on Facebook at The College Office. Also, you guys, I think I'm getting on Snapchat soon, so stay tuned for that. That's all for now. Thanks for watching me, Laura, in The College Office.